Under Nigerian law, a prison break is an unlawful act of a prisoner forcing their way out of a prison. It can also be described as attacks on the Nigerian prison services by terrorists such as Boko Haram and armed robbers in which many prisoners are released. You're welcome to National Talk. My name is Lois Suraki, and tonight I have Stella Elisha Dasham, and together we will be discussing tonight's topic. But before then, let's have a look or a background on the history of prison breaks in Nigeria. Prison breaks are a pervasive issue in Nigeria due to lack of security and being a common target by militants. Prison breaks have resulted in the escape of over 7,000 prisoners from Nigerian prisons since 2010. Often, when this happens, efforts are made by the Nigerian prison services in conjunction with security agency to rearrest the escapee and return them to the prison, and this may result in the extension of their jail term. Prison break in Nigeria may be attributed to corruption, poor funding of the prison services, poor prison facilities, inadequate security features such as CCTV, motion sensors, high wall made up of barbed wire, and sometimes electric fencing of the wall. Several methods can be used to facilitate prison break. Physical method is the most common method adopted by the perpetrators of Nigerian prison break. This method involves the use of arms and sometimes explosives such as dynamite to subdue the prison guard and other officials, resulting in fatal casualties. Kuje prison break. On 24th June 2016, there was a jailbreak at the Kuje Medium Security in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT Abuja, where two high-profile inmates in persons of Solomon Amodu and Maxwell Ajuku, both of them awaiting trial for homicide, escaped from custody by scaling through the fence. The Kuje prison chief was removed after this jailbreak by the Controller General of the Nigerian Prison Service. On 29 August 2016, authorities of the Nigerian prisons in the Federal Capital Territory reported another unsuccessful attempted jailbreak at the Kuje Medium Security Prison. Authorities said some inmates tried to resist the routine cell search, which is part of the operational guidelines, which led to an altercation between the officers and the inmates. The situation was quickly put under control and order restored, as no prisoner was injured or any property damaged in the facility. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Interior, Dr. Shuaibu Belgori, has said over 600 inmates fled the prisons when it came under another attack late Tuesday, 5th July 2022. Palpable tension has gripped residents of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT Abuja, and its neighboring states over the escape of over 800 inmates from the nation's foremost correctional center, Kuje Prison. Recall that scores of terrorists suspected to be Boko Haram members on Tuesday night attacked the facility with explosives and other dangerous weapons, freed all members and other criminal elements. The incident has continued to generate reactions from stakeholders who express shock at the level of security crisis in the country. While several Nigerians are blaming the incident on the inability of the President Muhammadu Buhari-led government to tackle the insecurity menace ravaging the nation, others believe it is a plot by some unscrupulous citizens attempting to frustrate Buhari's administration. The Minister of Defense, Bashir Magashi, while reacting to the unfortunate incident, said categorically that none of the Boko Haram suspects detained in the facility was found after the attack. A source from the Nigerian Prison Service who spoke on the condition of anonymity said among the escaped inmates are some Boko Haram, Islamic State West African Province, ECWA terrorists who were previously convicted. According to her, some of the escaped inmates were terrorist leaders who were captured and prosecuted by the Nigerian army. The development came when the FCT is facing the worst security situation in the history of the territory. There have been series of kidnapping, murder, ritual killings, and other criminal activities in the territory in the past few months. Balchi prison break on 7th September 2010. A prison break was reported in Balchi prison in the northern Nigeria city of Baochi by 50 gunmen suspected to be members of Boko Haram. This attack resulted in the escape of 721 prisoners, leaving 5 people dead with 6 injured persons. The Balchi prison break was an attack on the federal prison in the northern Nigeria city of Balchi, in which members of Boko Haram released 721 prisoners. The attack occurred on 7th September 2010. Of the 721 prisoners who escaped, as many as 150 were affiliated with Boko Haram. The Baochi prison break was part of a broader escalation of Boko Haram activity that served a retaliation for the death of one of the group's primary leaders. Boko Haram was staged multiple subsequent attacks on government and religious targets in Baochi state. Ogum prison break on 4th January 2013. It was reported that the Shagamu minimum prison in the southwestern Nigeria city of Ogun state was attacked, resulting in the escape of 20 prisoners, leaving several prison officials and other persons injured. About 4 escapees were rearrested by the armed squad of the prison service. The Ogum prison break was an attack on the Shagamu minimum prison in Ogun state. The incident was reported to have occurred on 4th January 2013 at around 3 a.m. Zakari Ibrahim, the Controller General of the Nigerian Prison Service, who confirmed the attack, claimed that the cause of the prison break was unclear. The incident resulted in the removal of Omobitan, the officer in charge of the facility, from office for negligence of duty. Ondo prison break attack on 30th June 2013, it was reported that the Olokutan medium security prison in Akure, the capital of Ondo State, Nigeria, was attacked by 50 unknown gunmen suspected to be armed robbers. The prison break resulted in the escape of 175 prisoners, leaving 2 people dead and 1 warder injured. About 54 escapees were rearrested after the attack, and about 121 inmates escaped. The incident was reported to have occurred on Sunday, 30th June 2013. Tunde Olayiwola, the Controller General of the Nigerian Prison Services in Ondo State, who confirmed the attack, dispelled the claims that the unknown gunmen were members of the Boko Haram, a terrorist group in the northeastern Nigeria. The incident was linked with gangs of robbers arrested during a bank robbery in Akure, who had been kept in the prison for over 1 year without trial. And Lagos prison break. The Lagos prison break occurred on October 10th, 2014, when 5 persons, Ayodeji Bello, 32, Shuaibu Abdul Razak, 21, Adebayo Dada, 24, Desmond Isaac, 35, and Peter Kingsley, 29, escaped from the Kirikiri maximum prison. The incident was reported to have occurred at around 4 p.m. The prison break was unsuccessful as a result of a collaborative effort of the Kirikiri divisional police officers and the officers of the Nigerian Prison Services on duty, who prevented the prison break. The incident was linked with a minor riot that occurred within the prison, a riot whose causes was unclear. Kogi prison break. The Kogi prison break was an attack on Koto Karfi Federal Medium Security Prison in Kogi State in north-central Nigeria by unknown gunmen suspected to be members of the terrorist group Boko Haram. The attack occurred on 2nd November 2014. About 144 prisoners escaped from the prison. 1 inmate was shot and killed during the attack. The escaped prisoners were largely awaiting trial for robbery. 12 inmates returned to the prison to serve out their sentences, and about 45 escaped prisoners were recaptured altogether. The incident was reported to have occurred on Sunday, 2nd November 2014. The attack was linked with Boko Haram, the Islamic insurgent group operating in the northeastern Nigeria. Alhaji Aminu Sule, the Controller General of the Nigerian Prison Services, claimed that the prison break operation was successful as a result of poor funding of the prison services, and that the prison cells had remained unchanged since the prison's establishment in 1934. And Kogi prison break. The prison break was an attack on Koto Karfi Federal Medium Prisons in Kogi in north-central Nigeria by unknown gunmen to have been Attack on 2nd November, about 144 prisoners escaped from the prison. In Ekiti prison break, the Ekiti prison break was an attack on the federal prison at Afo Road, Ado Ekiti, in the southwestern Nigerian city of Ekiti State by 60 unknown gunmen. The attack occurred on 30th November 2014. 341 prisoners escaped from the prison, leaving 1 warder and 20 sniper dogs dead. The escaped prisoners were largely awaiting trial. 10 inmates who attempted to escape were captured during the attack at gunfire exchange between the policemen and the gunmen. 67 inmates were rearrested after the attack and 274 inmates escaped. 1 inmate who claimed to have run away when he heard gunshots returned to the prison to serve out his short sentence. Kehinde Fadipe, the Controller General of the Nigerian Prison Services, refuted the claims that the unknown gunmen were members of the Boko Haram, an Islamic sect in northeastern Nigeria. On the basis of the fact that none of their members was awaiting trial in that prison, on 1st December 2014, Ekiti State Executive Governor Ayodele Fayose accused prison officials of conspiring with the unknown gunmen to launch the attack. In Mina prison break, the Mina prison break was an attack on Mina Medium Prison, Mina in the northwestern Nigeria city of Niger State by 3 unknown gunmen suspected to be armed robbers. The attack occurred on 6 December 2014. 270 prisoners escaped from the prison, leaving a security officer injured. The escaped prisoners were largely gangs of armed robbers awaiting trial. It was reported that one of the notorious armed robbers in the prison, called Osama, took part in the jailbreak about a week after the Ekiti prison break. The unknown gunmen, suspected to be armed robbers, freed 270 inmates and also looted weapons and bulletproof vests of the Nigerian Prison Services. About 108 of the escaped prisoners were rearrested by the Nigerian Prison Services in conjunction with the Nigerian police after the attack. This incident resulted in the removal and suspension of the Niger State Prison Controller, Musa Meyaki, and the officer in charge of medium security prison, Mina Mohammed Biuna, and all officers on duty on the day of the jailbreak by the federal government of Nigeria through the Minister of Interior, Abo Moro, following a recommendation by the Controller General of the Nigerian Prison Services, Dr. Peter Okpenju. Owerri prison break. The Ovary prison break took place in the early hours of 5th April 2021 when a mass prison break occurred in Owerri, Imo State, Nigeria. A large armed group arrived in pickups and on buses carrying rocket-propelled grenades, machine guns, and rifles. The group entered the prison's yard by using explosives to break through the administrative block. The militants attempted to take over the armory but failed. The group released over 1,844 inmates from the jail. The Nigerian Inspector General suspects the Eastern Security Network, the armed wing of the banned separatist group, the indigenous people of Biafra, are responsible for the attack. President Muhammadu Buhari described the crime as an act of terrorism perpetrated by anarchists. The attack is part of the insurgency in southeastern Nigeria and follows an attack in March. Over a dozen police officers and military personnel were killed in an assault on 4 police stations and several military checkpoints. It is believed the 2 attacks were perpetrated by the same group. In Edo State, on 19th October 2020, a group of people under the guise of NSAS protesters allegedly attacked the prisons in Benin City and Oko in Edo State, freeing about 1,993 inmates in custody and looted the facility, carting away weapons. The attackers came in large numbers with dangerous weapons and attacked the officers on guard duty and quickly forced the cells open and destroyed properties in the facility. The Jos prison break. There is no end in sight to the manhunt for the 252 inmates that escaped from Jos Correctional Center in Plateau State on November 28, 2021. The attackers behind the jailbreak had arrived at the facility around 5 p.m. in disguise. They had accessed the facility through the main entrance in the guise of people who were there to preach to inmates. 35 of the inmates that escaped were rearrested, with at least 217 still unaccounted for. The Jos Correctional Center has a capacity to accommodate 1,159 inmates, and there was never a time the facility was overcrowded. Altogether, 7 correctional centers in Plateau State located at Pangshin, Langtang, Wasi, Shandam, Lukoshi, in Shandam, and those of Lamingo and Jos City. These are all the history of jailbreaks in Nigeria. Sele, they're just a lot. And the issue is that this act of insecurity, let me put it that way, is still going on, because recently, out of all the ones I've mentioned, we had the Kuje prison break that took place, and over 800 inmates are out there.
You know, it's really, really sad, Lois, that we have this issue coming up, especially in time where we have insecurity that is becoming the order of the day. And we cannot talk about insecurity without talking about these prison breaks. I mean, back was then when we hear about prison breaks on just movies, but now we're seeing this real time. We are experiencing this, and then not to talk about even the inmates that are presently out there that we're not even sure what is going to happen to our lives. And just before we continue, I'd just like to let our viewers know that we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, and at 7:30, we'll open the phone line so that you can also, you know, contribute to the you can actually contribute to the conversation that is presently going on. Now, when you look at especially the recent Kuje facility prison attack, it's really sad that such thing is coming up, because we cannot detach this prison break from the present Abuja Kaduna terrorist attack, because I remember clearly we kept having the issue coming up on our papers often regarding the fact that this terrorist group have said that they need, part of the deal they want the federal government to sign is the fact that they need their leaders that are in custody of the federal government to be released. And I remember the negotiator, which was formerly Gumi before he actually had his aide, Mamu, that was actually, you know, negotiating between the federal government and the terrorists. And I remember where I said, for him to be the one negotiating, definitely that means they trusted him, because they said they couldn't trust anybody in the federal government. And we know there were some lineup that the terrorists gave, that these are the demands that the federal government needs to meet up with before they can finally release the remaining people which are presently still in the dens of these terrorists. And we do not even know what their fate is presently, because we will not talk about the way the weather is presently. They have been attacked by snakes, they have been attacked by spiders, and so many other things are happening to them. Now, this will also bring to mind, Lois, the fact that Nigerians have a question and they need answers. And they don't just need answers, but they need the right answers to this issue that is happening. Because any normal Nigerian is going to ask you, Lois, the fact that if we are having the likes of Khalid, yeah, exactly. You know, we're having Khalid presently there in the custody, and we're having the likes of even Abba Kyari in that same prison. Now, this will bring to mind, because any Nigerian would think that the Kuje facility is actually a minimum prison. That means most of the criminals that are there are minor criminals, but then we are having the likes of hardcore criminals. I mean, if you're going to check a background of El Banawi, of what he has done from the attack on the UN headquarters in Abuja, you could tell that, I mean, it's expected that criminals like him supposed to have been dead, or something supposed to have happened to them by now. But you wonder, why is it that he is still in prison? And we're saying that not just him, but many other, over 64 terrorists, that's the Boko Haram leaders, are out there, and we don't even know the fate of Nigeria. Not to talk about, okay, just recently, the Nigerian Correctional Center have brought out the pictures of those that have actually left these places, and they said that it's expected that anybody that come in contact with them should be able to, because there are phone numbers that were lined up there. If you see any of them anywhere, you can call the numbers, and the Nigerian prison service will be at the service and actually come and actually, arrest these people back. But then, Lois, presently, we have to look at the implications of this thing. If presently we are having, because from the news, you gave us a background that prison break is not just recently this thing started. I mean, way back in 2012, 13, we had several. And even this same Kuje facility, this is not the first time. This is the third attempt on this same facility. And they said there was intelligence report, Lois. There was intelligence report that these people are coming. So when there's an intelligence report, it's expected that the security agency are supposed to be there. There's supposed to be tight security. Everything that is in there is supposed to be there. But we're shocked.
It's not even the fact that they made prior notice that they were coming. But I just believe that such facilities should have those security put in place, even without them saying they're coming. You know, talking about the notorious kind of criminals that are there, that place should have a very tight security that even if no one is saying that it's going to come there, it should be there. That's what I feel. And talking about the implications of all these things, talking about Alberwani that is let loose now at large, you know, with what he did. If you look at what he did from the reports, maybe we should just remind our viewers of what this particular person has done. I think they will understand more what the implications of letting this kind of person out there, you know, alongside other Boko Haram members that are there. So maybe we should just have
Okay, let me just give them a brief report of what El-Banawi has actually done. El-Banawi, he is an Isaru leader who masterminded the bombing of the UN headquarters in Abuja in 2011, which killed at least 18 persons and left nearly 100 several injured. Was among the inmates Boko Haram released from the Kuje prison on Tuesday night. On June 21, 2022, the U.S. Department of State designated Khalid El-Banawi, a specially designated global terrorist under the Executive Order 13224 on June 21, 2012. Other terrorists designated Abubakar Shaku, Abubakar Adam, and the release of Mr. El-Banawi may signal a significant increase in the Boko Haram terrorist activities in Nigeria. And we know they said he was being trained, he has been trained in Algeria. And that is to tell you, Lloyd, that he has all that it takes. I mean, even from further report, they say he has a very high IQ. Even from where he is, he can actually, you know, design any prison attack and any prison break, and before realizing things are happening. But it's expected that if we know we have someone like that, I was having a conversation with someone before the show, and I said, why can't the Nigerian government use him to the advantage of the government? I mean, if we know we have such a high IQ as such, we can use him to the advantage of the country and see that how we can better this country. Presently, it's not just about the prison break here in Nigeria, but this is also a UN case. Why? Because he bombed one of their facilities in 2012. So it's expected that more should have been done. We know there was a tweet that came from the president saying that he needs a report concerning what has happened there, because how can such a thing happen under the, you know, the watch of security agency? It's expected, because if you check from where that prison is to where the Aso Rock, is not very far. Even it's into like the main
7 kilometers.
Exactly. The main Abuja city, it's not far from where this facility is. So now this will bring to mind, Lois, that why would such a thing happen? Not to even talk about the length of time that they spent. There was a 15-minute prayer that was conducted, not just in Hausa, but in other languages, just in case you don't understand Fulani or Hausa, you could actually understand the other. This operation took place for 3 hours, and now this will bring to mind, if such an operation will actually take place for 3 hours, what happened? Was there no security to come by? Even though there was bombing, so I think that possibly they might have been afraid, but it's expected that more should have been done. This should have even alerted other security agencies, Royce, to come to this place and see what is happening. I mean, if they came in their numbers over 300, and definitely they carried out this attack where we had over 300 inmates being released. Presently, not to talk about the lives of not just the people living in Abuja, but we don't know how far these inmates have gone. And now, if we are having that the lives of Khalid are out there, and this have put a threat, or has actually started as a threat to Nigerians, Now that we will say that Asaru group have actually gotten what they wanted. Now, what is the fate of those people still in the dens of these terrorists? Because we really cannot tell what will happen presently, Lois.
You know, from the president's tweet that you mentioned, he said, how can? And that's the question that most Nigerians are asking, how can? I'm also asking that question, how can? You know, but how can is not enough for us, for the president to be asking. We need the president to do even more. He said reports should be given. We don't need reports. We need actions to be taken, proper actions, because we've had enough of reports taking place in this country. We need actions to happen in this country to tackle some of those things that are happening. Because if you say reports, definitely they will give reports that this was, I was there, I was not there, and all of those kind of reports that will be, and at the end of the day, what is done is swept under the carpet, and then life continues for us as Nigerians. Is that how we want to go on? No. We want things to be done rightly. We want these issues of jailbreaks to stop. This is a correctional center, or these are correctional centers that people that have committed crimes to the society, to the country, are being kept there. And then some of them are awaiting trial for so long. Why should you keep such people for so long? If their judgment has been pronounced, why not execute them as the judgment has said? Why keep them in that place for so long? And of course, their members will have to come for them, since they are not dead. Right?
Definitely.
They will have to come for them. So why do you keep them? Why keep them for so long?
Even though you actually gave us a background, Lois, of all the prison breaks, I would like us to take a look at the recent prison breaks, especially starting from 2021, because I think these are the most recent that Nigeria can actually, you know, will I say, connect with and actually tell, okay, from these various prison attacks we've had in the country, what have the government done to provide solution and also to prevent reoccurrence of such, you know, prison breaks happening? And just the first one which we would like to take is from the Ovary Custodian Center in Imo State that actually took place from April 5th to April to 2021, and they said a total of 1,844 prisoners were freed. 6 inmates have so far voluntarily returned to the facility, while 35 inmates refused to escape from the custody during the attack. Now, Lois, if we're having this happening, and what beats my mind is the fact that it's still in the heart of what? Insecurity. That we're having such a facility being attacked by most of all these attacks are actually being labeled to the Boko Haram most time. So now if this attack actually took place in this facility, the first question anyone wants to ask is, what have the government done? Where are the inmates that are still in loose? Are you telling me they are not in Nigeria any longer? Did they put the pictures so that people can actually identify them? And just in case, if you see, because definitely Nigerians would like to say, okay, if this had the picture and I report, what is the assurance that I will be protected if I report this case to the nearest police station or wherever, any security agency I can actually place my finger on? Now, you know, this would definitely bring to mind that what has been done so far. Is it that, just like you said, after this attack took place, we've swept it off under the carpet? Nothing has been done to see that none of any of this prison break actually reoccur again? Because these are questions Nigerians need. And just like I said, we don't just need answers. They need what? The right answers to what government is doing to make sure that such thing does not reoccur again. So, Lois, really, it beats my mind when we begin to look at all of these records one after the other. And I think after that, we also had to look at the Balchi facility. And we said the first one occurred on the 7th of September 2010, and it was carried out by approximately 50 gunmen, where members of the Boko Haram released 721 prisoners. I want you to take that figure, Lois, because it beat my mind. And then in April 9th, now look at the dates between the Ovary and also that of Baochi. This is just 2 days gap, 5th of April, and this is taking place on the 9th of April, possibly maybe 3 or 4 days gap. And then they say 7 were injured in that Balchi Correctional Center riot, even though it wasn't really a break as of that of the 9th of April. But then this will still, you know, bring to mind that what has the government done? Because if you check, most of this riot is either because their phones were seized, they were having illegal, maybe illegal drugs, or they were actually doing some things. Most times when we actually check most of this thing, you see that we always have insiders. It's either we're having the jailers working together with them, or so, you know, so it really, you know, beat my mind, Lois. But I think we've been, we have to go on a break now, because I think the height is really, the issues are really, you know, coming to mind. So we'd like to take a break now, and when we come back, we'll actually open the phone lines for our callers, where you can also chip in and let us hear what your views are concerning all of the prison attacks, and what are the, you know, possibly maybe the solutions towards all this. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. It's still National Talk on ECWA Television Africa. I'm Sela Elisha Dasham, and I'm doing this alongside Lois Duraki. Thank you so much, Lois, for being here. And right at this moment, our phone lines are open, so you can call us and let us know what your views are, because this is an interactive session, and we really want to hear what you have to say concerning the various prison attacks in the land. And also, we're live on Facebook and YouTube, so you can drop your comment and we'll take them live on the show. And Lois, before we went on that break, we're looking at the recent prison attacks starting from 2021 to date, the present Kuje facility. And we looked at the Balchi, we also looked at Ovary, and we looked at the dates in between. It was really not that much, because if you look at from 7th to 9th, it's actually just 2 days or 3 days gap, and you begin to wonder why the eyes of all the security agencies are not on our facility. And still in the same April, there was another prison or attempted jailbreak, and that took place in Edo State in Ubaja Correctional Facility, and that was on April 14th, 2021. And they said it was a jailbreak attempt. Some of the officers sustained different degrees of injury. Now, still in April, Lois, we had the first one in...
Oh, maybe they have something about April.
You get, there's just something about April, because the period beats my mind. 5th, 7th, 14th. It's okay. Oh, we have a caller, Lloyd. Sorry, I'll cut you short. Hello, good evening.
You know that Nigeria itself, the #1 citizen of Nigeria. Hello. The #1 citizen of Nigeria. He is the cause of everything in this Nigeria. Because all the governor of the state of this Nigeria, they said that they should create state security. So this man refused that he cannot create a state. So created a security in the state. So how can they
just keep talking? Don't listen to your TV set.
So how can they
from your TV set?
And when they created a security in the state, these security men will not know what is happening and know the way that these terrorists they used to come out. But he refused to do all those things. That is what all this problem is being blamed on him. When he become a president, he promised that he's going to tackle the security. And now, what is happening now? So we now blame on him because he's the cause of everything in Nigeria.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
caller.
all.
Thank you so much for that caller. Actually saying that we have to start with the #1 citizen, which is the president. But I believe that the president has ministers, Lois.
Yes, of course. There are ministers. There are people put in place to head several different ministries in the country. I know report says that this particular administration has allocated more funds to the prison services more than any other one. You know, they said in the sum of 4 billion was allocated
Sorry,
in 2015.
Lloyd, I have to cut you short again. Hello, Emmanuel. Good evening.
I've done that.
Please go on, please, Mr. Emmanuel.
Hello.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I said based on the issue on ground at the moment, the issue of insecurity and that of prison, constant prison break in the country. I think at this stage the government is to blame because the one that happened 2 days ago in Kogi has really shown that government hands are involved in one way or the other. How can you remove a security checkpost within 24 hours before the operation? So there are lots of fingers pointing at the government. I think this government has failed and will continue to fail until we vote in competent people that will tackle security issues in the country. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. And concerning the report of withdrawing a security men 24 hours, we're still checking the authenticity of that report. And when we are very certain about that report, we'll definitely bring it back to our viewers. And Lois, you're actually, giving us some details.
Yes, based on the amount that was allocated to prison, 4 billion was allocated in 2015, 14 billion rather in 2016, and then 16.6 billion in 2017, while higher allocations were made in 2018 and 2019. So you see, some of these things, some of these people are making.
I'm sorry, Lloyd, I have to cut you short again. Hello, Mr. Emmanuel Benue. Good evening. Please go on. We can hear you. Move away from your TV set, please.
Okay. Yeah. This generation that is coming.
Go on, Mr. Emmanuel.
Everybody should vote. Let's just say that.
I think I'm having an issue with the network. It seems to be breaking, but I think he's trying to make the point that for whatever narrative is happening, we need to actually be very wise come 2023. Please go on, Lois.
Yes, so as I was saying, this administration has allocated more than to the prisons more than any other administration that we've had. But still, with all the huge budget, we've seen that there are many complaints about the facilities are not good. They're not in good shape. Most of them are dilapidated because they've been built for a very long time. And some of those funds are being given to them to renovate, and then even the feeding, because before this year they were feeding 450 per person. Hello, we can hear you.
Not local government.
Okay, go on, please, Mr. Emmanuel. We can hear you, please. Go on.
I want to put in this prison that is breaking. Okay, that prison is insecurity. That is the cause of the whole of everything. So now, our president has to tackle the security before doing other things. So we just leave all the security and guiding ourselves and leave Igbo people. So the way the president used to rule the country is not good. It's not good. We want to bring the fight in this country. So please, people should inform him or tell the workers. Let me put in that way, the workers of the president, that you know what they are doing in this end time now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel, for that contribution. And we believe the right authorities have been alerted and they know that because Nigerians are looking up to them to do something better so that we can, avoid such from reoccurring again.
It's really important that the right authorities should be up and about this issue, because this particular issue has been recurring and it's becoming a menace in the country. And if it's not being tackled, then I don't know where we are headed. The issue of insecurity from the bandits, the Boko Haram and the Ansaru and all of these issues coming up, they are causing a lot of setbacks to the country. So if the right authorities do not be on their toes to do the needful, I think we are heading to the rocks. But we are hopeful to this country. We have our hope. We are putting our hopes in God, rather, so that things will be put in place, and then the president has called on the security agencies for a meeting in the Aso Rock so that they will have more in-depth analysis probably, or in-depth talks with them.
No, we have
what
another
we bring
caller.
peace in this nation is for them to divide this country. Let Igbo go to their own. Hausa go to their own. Yoruba go their own.
Mr.
That is my
Williams,
own
I
suggestion.
understand your pain. You can actually hear it from Mr. Williams' voice. But dividing
that they
the
will
country
see
is not... Hello, Mr. Williams, are you still there? I think your TV set is on, so we actually can hear you clearly. But then I think from his voice, you could actually tell that this is a Nigerian that is pained. But I will say that division is not the way forward.
Of course.
Making the Hausa, the Igbo, the Yoruba, everybody going his way is not the way forward. We have to come together and be united, because a house divided against itself cannot stand at the end of the day. So it's important that we realize that the enemy always use our division. You always say that because I'm from the north, I'm going to support a northerner. Because I'm from the south. Hello, good evening. Hello, a caller from Abuja. Good evening. Are you there? We
Hello?
can hear you, please. Yes, go on.
Hello.
Please go on. We can hear you.
Okay, my name is Stanley.
Okay, Sally, go on, please.
Okay, yeah, okay, I was watching TVC News this morning, and they were interviewing a man about his prison break. Yeah, so the man was saying the inmates are having their phones, they're having phones with them. So the issue is now that how do they get those phones? The inmates, how do they get those phones? And how do they recharge their phones? If you can watch it, if you can check your YouTube and watch it, you will notice what I'm saying. So, just like my brother said before, the government has a hand in this, or some government official has a hand in this. How will prison inmates have phones with them? They will be making their communications now. So I don't know if you understand. So it is painful. This is an organized group, way organized than our own militaries. And it's very annoying. God just help us in Nigeria here.
Amen.
That's just gospel truth.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so
Seriously.
much. But
Thank you.
just like, thank you for that that call. You know, Lois, I think the government is still investigating. Interrogations are still going on. So you cannot come out to say that the government have a hand in this. Yes, I think it's part of the problem. We actually say part of the reason why we have some riots in these various other prison breaks we mentioned, the Ovary and also that of Balchi. It's the reason why we're saying how comes inmates are having cell phones inside. Definitely we know they're inside. Hello, good evening. Sorry, Lois. Please move away from your TV set.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Please go on.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Go on, please.
Okay, my name is Judewa.
Hello, are you there? Please, callers, whenever you call us, move away from your TV set, because if you're having your TV set on, you can hear us. So it's important that you move away from your TV set so that we can have a very good communication. And so, Lois, we're saying it's part of the problem we're actually listening. Okay, hello, our caller from Abuja.
Yeah, good evening, Sele and Lois.
Good evening. Please go on, we can hear you.
Yeah, this is Mr. Salas from Abuja.
Mr. Silas, go on.
You see, one thing in life is that we need to understand enemies are very smart. Because whosoever that is targeting you, you always follow your footsteps, and you will know as an innocent person. Just let me say, as a uniform person, you wear the uniform in the public, you don't know who is targeting you. So I want to let us know that as nation, we should be very, very mindful. We know what to do, and we should
we should try our best, because it should not be like what happened in Afghanistan. Because I want to call the attention of the safety aspect of it, that we should try our best to do something that will help the nation. Because when the enemies are pushing, you don't know where they are heading to. So please, this is what I want to say. I pray that the authority will take action. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Lois, would you like to react?
Just like I said earlier, they have to be open about that's the security agencies or the security put in place in those particular facilities, because you don't have to wait till when people are telling you they are coming. You don't have to wait for them to tell you that they are coming before you start putting security in place. It's supposed to be secured at all times, no matter what, so that people, when they are even thinking of coming to attack those kind of places, they will think twice about it. But if there are no security properly put in place in that place, definitely they will come whenever they want. I'm talking about them having cell phones in their that's talking about the inmates. They will definitely communicate with their people outside. If not, look at the kind of operation that took place for over 3 hours. They came in, even shared money. Where did they even get money from that they even shared to the inmates and even told them to go and not even follow them to where they were headed? So like, it's just a lot. It's just a lot.
What beat my mind, Lois, is the fact that on that same day, the presidential convoy, advance convoy, was attacked. And on that same day, we had the prison break. Now, this will bring to mind that these people actually planned this. It was not just a one-day job. They planned this properly and made sure that they were able to carry out their operation without anybody hindering them. And I think this should bring to mind the fact that we really need to be on our toes. Because it's sad that we're having the likes of UK and the US are calling back their citizens from Nigeria. And this will really tell, it's very bad on our image. Talk about even, not to talk about even the others, not to talk about foreign investors that we're having into the country that are beginning to withdraw. Why? Because they feel that their lives are insecure. We had the lives of that in Niger State and others. So it's really sad. Let's look at also previous other prison attacks that took place in still that same April. I think I mentioned that of Ubaja Correctional Facility in Edo State, where there was an attempted jailbreak. We have another one of Kumawa Prison in Kano State on April 22nd, 2021. Just like you said, they seem to love April a lot. And it was still an attempted jailbreak by inmates when prison officials tried to retrieve some items, including phones, from the condemned criminals. Yet in that same, I think, they now left April and went down to September this time around. And that was the Kaba Medium Security Custodian Center in Kogi that took place in September 13, 2021, where we had over 250 inmates escape as gunmen killed 4 soldiers that were actually in the checkpoint. And then we had 1 that was injured in the Kaba prison. Now, this is really sad, Lois, to really say that we're having issues like this. Still in 2021, we had another of the Obologo Custodian Center in Oyo State, where we had 835 inmates escaped. 262 escaped inmates had been recaptured, while 575 are still at large. This will tell that it's really they stand as a risk for other Nigerians, because we do not know what will happen to the life of people. And the recent one, which was just last year, we had the Jos Medium Security Custodian Center that took place in November 28, 2021. And we had a total of 262 inmates escape. 10 had so far been recaptured, leaving 252 at large. And one of the MPS, that is one of the prison service armed squad personnel, had to die. He had to pay with his life. And we have 9 inmates that also lost their lives. And then another staff of the service was shot in the hand. And 6 inmates were also injured in that attack. Now, what beats my mind about this attack is the fact that this attack took place around 5:20 p.m. The place is still bright, Lois. So this will tell you that what happened. And if you check the way Jos Prison is, Lois.
If you look at the Jos Prison, you look at the A Division, the headquarters, the DSS, all those people are there. And then this attack took place. so many inmates were released. Sele, no wonder people say insiders are involved in this. If not, how come?
You know, it's really surprising the fact that we're having all this intelligence around there. And we're also having the fact that they were able to escape. And the place is not dark. 5:20 p.m. I mean, the sun is still shining. It's expected that so much security has been put in place. But we can see that there has been no security so much. No wonder they were able to escape. And we're still having this number, about 252 leave. We begin to wonder, which road did they use? Okay, they were having muftis on. That means they were not wearing on their prison wears. If not, that would have been easy for you to identify them among, you know, other people that are actually walking around. So I think this is really to bring back the minds of our security agency. Yes, we believe the president have called for an emergency meeting, but it's not about the meeting, Lois. Nigerians need answer.
Is what we need, and not talking about just them making reports as the president has said he needs. We need actions to be taken. We need people. We need to see things being done. Like it's just usual for things like this to happen in the country, and then the president or the governors will just come and say, give reports and say, we commemorate with the families of the deceased and all of that. No, we are tired of hearing all of that. We want the right things being put in place. If people that are there are incompetent, you take them out and bring people that you feel will do this work well. Just like we've seen some of these correctional centers that were broken rather. We saw that some of these people were removed from the job. They were removed from that particular offices that they were heading because they were not, as far as I'm concerned, they were incompetent, because you can't be there and then such things are happening. What are you doing there? What have you been put there to do? So if they're not doing the right things, then they should be taken out, and other people that are competent should be brought in to do the job. And then some of these correctional centers are in urban places, like places that are crowded. I feel they should take these people to a different location, build a proper prison yard that has like 3 gates, you know. So before they break the first one and get to the second one, there should be a proper alert of enough security that will come and intervene in such attacks. If not, I don't know where we're headed, Sele.
You know what surprised me was even the report that came from the minister, where he said that the way the prisons are being created is not such a way that external forces cannot break through. And I said, this is not a report we want to be hearing. The Senate have complained that there were no CCTV, so we cannot even trace back who are the people that have actually left, who are the people that we have to pick, if apart from the pictures that we have, that will make us to be able to identify their faces. But imagine where you're walking around and then these people are wearing properly, you know, disguised. They are masked or something. You won't able to know, okay, who is who. Not to talk about, okay, we mentioned the fact that there was an intelligence report, but I keep asking, Lois, if there was an intelligence report, what did we do with it? Let's not forget that we don't have to keep you know, posing our security to danger, because sometimes we just chase them over there where there are more proper ways we can go about this. Not talk about there are drawings that you can actually send to actually see this thing, and we'll be able to, you know, curtail that where we don't have the loss of lives of any security agency as a result of carrying out their assignment. Okay, let's talk about the equipment. You mentioned the fact that the prisons have to be created in a way that before you break the first, second, and third gate, security agencies have been alerted. But when we take a look at other developed countries, the way the prison yards are, sometimes it's very difficult for you to be able to break out of the prison. Why? Because there's so much gadget. If you make an attempt, you know what will happen to you. They just waste your life for nothing. And this will bring fear into the minds of inmates, that is rather I stay, serve my jail term, and when I'm done serving the jail term, I can actually go out. And even when the inmates are out, is there a follow-up on where they are going, who is coming to pick them, what are they going to do? We need to monitor them to be sure that they don't go back to repeat the same crime that they have actually been, you know.
I know, Sarah, there has been reports of overcrowdedness in the facilities. True. Why not build more facilities if that's the case? The government should build more facilities so that the issue of overcrowdedness would not even come up. That's that's one of the issues that we've seen have caused some of these jailbreaks because of the overcrowdedness, and then the issue of keeping inmates for so long awaiting trial. For what? I think these are some of the issues the right authorities should take note of. Keeping these people for so long is not it's not the best. If they are supposed to be executed, they should be, and then the right things should just be done.
Thank you so much, Lois, for doing this alongside. I just hope that the security agency will actually do more, and also the ministries and also the agency that are involved in this will follow up. We'll keep our fingers crossed and also bring our viewers updated with if any of them have been brought back to prison. We'll make sure we bring it back to you. Thank you so much to all our callers during the program, and thank you to the ECWA executive for a platform like this. Thank you to all our crew members for making this program a success. Thank you to our producer and every other person that made this program a success. Until we come your way again, take care of yourself and have a blessed night.